Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Tonight I'm going to be doing perch fish. I'm going to fry it. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need Morton's Season All. Now this is my favorite blend of Season All. I don't like Lawry's because it has a high content of salt, so I don't use it. If you prefer that, you can use that. You will need paprika, garlic powder, a little bit of salt, because as I told you, this Morton Season All does not carry a high content of salt, and that's the reason why I like it so well. And you're going to need 2 egg whites, not the yolks, just the egg whites. And of course you're going to need the fish. Now I've already taken my fish out of this container. I've already washed it and I have it sitting here on the side. So what I'm going to do is to show you the next step. I also have my oil heating up on the back of the stove. Now this is my cornmeal. Cornmeal, I have 2 cups of cornmeal over in here, and I'm going to put the ingredients at the bottom like I always do. Now, to the cornmeal, I'm going to add my seasonings. I'm not going to put it on the fish. I'm going to add it to my cornmeal. Shake it up just a little bit. Now, if you don't want to use bags, you don't have to use bags. Just go ahead and use whatever it is you want to shake your fish up in. I use bags because I'm old school. I always have used bags, and I don't have problems with it. So, now, my fish has already been washed over on the side. So what I'm going to do, I washed it, and then I set it on the side. I'm going to put these gloves on, and that's the reason why I had the glove on. And I'm going to take these egg whites, and I'm going to put them on the fish. Now, you might say, why are you putting egg whites on the fish? Because I want the seasonings to stick to it. These egg whites, see, they're sticky, okay? And they're good for the fish when you're frying fish. So I want all of my seasonings to stick to my fish. So I put the egg whites in there, shook it around just a little bit. Then I'm going to take my fish and I'm going to put it in the bag. Now I'm going to shake this up, and once I shake up my fish, I'm going to put it into a different container. Fit it in my refrigerator just for about 20-30 minutes. That's all you need. Okay. So I'll take this out of the bag, because you want, not only do you want your seasonings to stick, you want to give it just a little time in order for it to really sink into your fish. That's what your fish should look like when it comes out. Okay. So I'm going to lay my fish inside of this container. Now, my fish has the seasonings on it that won't slip off, because I have the egg whites on the fish, and it also has the cornmeal, because I fry my fish in cornmeal. Now, if you want to use a different blend in order to fry your fish in, say you use 3 parts of cornmeal and 1 part of flour, you can go ahead and do what it is that you normally do. This is the way I do it. This is the way I like to do it. So I'm just showing you a different way to do it. Now I'm going to take the rest of the fish that has the egg yolk on it, and I'm going to go ahead and put it inside of my bag. Then I'm going to shake this up again. And I've been doing it with bags for so long, I don't think I would know how to do it any other way. And a lot of people write me and say, well, I don't like using Walmart bags. And don't use it. Use whatever you normally use, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to still use it, okay? So now I'm going to take this fish and I'm going to lay it in. Now, perch fish is easy to fry. It's really not hard as long as you let it get crispy. And that's exactly what this fish will do, because the breading that I'm putting on it is going to have a chance to actually sit on this fish for a while. Okay. Now I have my oven temperature set at 300. When I get ready to drop the fish, it's not now, it's just on low. But I have my oven, my pot temperature, I'm sorry, set, because I am going to be cooking it on top of the stove, is set for a medium high. Medium high, normally you want that temperature inside of the pot to be 350 degrees. But I'll show you a little trick for that, because I don't know when I have used a thermometer just to do the fish. I normally just know how to do it automatically. And all you have to do really in order to make certain that your oil is actually hot enough is drop a little bit of your breading over in there, and it should sizzle all the way around. If it sizzles all the way around, it's hot enough. If it does not sizzle all the way around, then you need to let it get a little bit hotter. But you want it to fry evenly. It does not take a long time for perch fish to fry. Okay, we're talking roughly about a 10-minute process, and then it'll be done. But you can't turn your heat up too high. You need to have your temperature set right on your stove. Now, all of my fish is inside of my container. Like I said, I'm going to sit this in my refrigerator for about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to meet you at the stove, and we're going to fry up this good perch fish for tonight. Be right back. Okay, now I'm at the stove, and I'm getting ready to fry this fish. Now remember, this was what I fried mixed the fish up in. I mixed up my ingredients. Remember, I mixed up my cornmeal and my seasonings in this. So I just want to show you so you'll know when your grease is actually ready for your cook. So you just take a little bit of the flour, drop it. Do you see how that's sizzling up? Okay, and it's going to rise up to the top. Okay, that tells me that my oil is ready. So if you don't have a thermometer, you don't need a thermometer. That's an old school way of actually finding out whether or not your oil is actually ready. So if it had stayed at the bottom, or if it was not sizzling around the edges, then that would have meant that I need to give it a little bit more time before I actually put the fish in. So now that my oil is ready, I can go ahead and place my fish in. And my fish can go ahead and fry up. Now, I hope that you can hear the sound, especially when I get all of the fish in. When you are frying, okay, you don't want your grease jumping back at you. In other words, you don't want the grease to be so hot that it's popping all over every place. That's not what you want. What you want, I'm just going to move this over just a little bit so I can get another piece over in here. What you want, if you listen to the sizzle, just smaller piece. Trying to find a little smaller piece. There's one. Okay. Now, if you listen to the sizzle of the skillet, it sounds like a medium rain. That is exactly what you're looking for, a medium rain. You don't want to get it so hot that it's like a hard rain, because if you get the grease that hot, what will happen is your fish will brown, but it won't be done on the inside. So that's not what you want. You want to take the time to get this fried right. Okay, so I'm going to let this, it only takes about 10 minutes for, fish to actually cook. So I'm going to maybe 10, 12 minutes at the most. I'm going to let this cook for 5 minutes on this side. And when I get ready to flip it, to turn it over on the other side, I will bring you right back. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and it's time for me to flip the fish. But I want you to listen to that sound. You don't want that grease to sound any louder than that. That's it. Now, if I was covering the fish with grease, what would happen, or with cooking oil, what would happen is when it rises to the top, then the fish is done. But because I am not covering, the fish with cooking oil, then I have to flip it. So I'm just going to flip the fish over. Maybe I should get something other than this little fork. There you go. There you go. This is my actual fish turner. I don't know why I wasn't using it. Fish has a beautiful color on it. You can tell it from the pieces. Now you want a hard crust on your fish. I mean, some people like it soft. If you want it soft, that's fine. But if you have it soft, a lot of times your fish will break on you. If it's a hard crust on the fish, then the fish will go ahead and cook evenly and you'll get one solid piece. So now I have it flipped over on the same on the other side, and you hear that same little sound. So I'm going to allow this to continue to cook, and I'll bring you back when I get ready to take it out. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to flip it over one more time and take it off of the back side of the fish. That's why I'm kind of stuck a little bit. It's okay. There you go. Okay, I'm going to give it about 2 minutes and then I'm going to take it out. Be right back. Alright, now this fish is done. I'm going to take this batch out. It's some crispy, good looking fish. Look at the color of it. And once I get this batch out, then I'm going to go ahead and put in another batch. Okay. I flipped over. There you go. So now I'm going to put in my second batch. I have not turned up my heat at all. My heat is the same temperature that I started with. And that's exactly what you want. Now when I get this batch in, I have one more batch after this. Okay? But listen to the sizzle. My sizzle is not getting any stronger than it was at the beginning. So I'm going to fry up this batch, and the fish looks really, really good. I'm going to fry up this batch, and I'll be right back as soon as I get this batch ready to flip it over. Be right back. Okay, now we're back, and I'm getting ready to flip over this batch of fish. Two things I want to tell you though. I really don't mix my fish grease with any other grease. Like if I'm frying chicken and I'm frying pork chops or something of that nature, I always put that into my little kettle that you see sitting off over here on the side. Now with your fish grease, you need to keep that in a separate container because fish will make everything taste fishy. So you definitely don't want to do it. Another reason why you don't want to do it is because this is a meal base versus a flour base when you're doing chicken and pork chops. So you don't want to mix that either, because when you use the grease again, then you'll be getting a mealy type taste on something that normally has a flour type base on it. So those two things just keep, in your head when you get ready to, I don't know why I keep going back to this fork, when you get ready to store your fish grease. make certain that you don't mix that fish with that chicken, because even if you mix the fish with the chicken grease and you get ready to make cornbread and you want to use the you want to use the a little bit of old cooking oil, because that's what I make my cornbread with, you still gonna get that fish taste. Fish taste is strong and it's very hard to get rid of. So that's one grease that you don't want to be trying to mix with any other food that you may be cooking. So I'm flipping this on the other side. Okay, there you go. So that it can fry up on the other side. And if you can look over in here, this fish is coming out real pretty. So when I get ready to flip it back over, or when I get ready to put in the next batch, I might bring it back. Otherwise, I might finish it all up before I bring it back. But in either case, I will be back. Okay, now we're back, and my family has already started eating. So as you can see, that fish is probably almost gone, really, to be truthful. So I'm just going to go ahead and dish you up a plate. And I told you that I was having spaghetti, fish, and coleslaw. So I'm sorry, I just hit the camera. That was me. Okay, so I have the spaghetti down, and I'm going to take and put a couple of pieces of fish down on this plate as well. And this fish is really good, because you know I've tasted it already. So it is really good. Now I got the fish down, and I'm going to add some coleslaw to this plate. Remember the coleslaw? Okay. That's the coleslaw and how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that down on the plate as well. Okay, so there you have it. I made spaghetti, perch fish, and creamy coleslaw. And I just wanted to show you what it actually came out like. Well, you know today is Friday and you eat fish on Friday anyway. So this is a real nice treat. Okay? So if you really want to try this recipe, if you want to really try and have some good fish, try it the way I just cooked it. I think that you're really going to enjoy it. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye!